Vicki Marie, and welcome to the best night of the week, isn't it? It's Tuesday night. It's members only live stream, and it's the Carry On Chatting members only live stream, and we've got some new people to welcome tonight, which is brilliant. And I'm going to play the welcome video. I've had to go back to our original welcome video because every time I try and put any other welcome to the family video on, YouTube always, pulls me up for copyright of the song or whatever. So whereas the original welcome to the family video that we've been using for, we've been watching for ages, the cult song, I never get pulled up for that one. So it's really odd. Not really sure why that is. But anyway, let me tell you what the new members are. So there's new members not only on this level, but on the other level. And I'm just going to tell you who they are before we welcome them to the family. Let me have a look. Should have had this ready, shouldn't I? Of course, I am prepared for the video, but I didn't prepare. Look who the new members were. Oh, so let's have a look. If I go back to, I need to go back to. Yep, so we've got Angie H, who has joined Let's Chat. Silver Soul, who was gifted a membership, I think, for Carry On Chatting. Gem in the Mud, Let's Chat. Unity Calling was gifted Carry On Chatting. Moonbeam joined Let's Chat. Catherine John joined Upgraded, I think, to Carry On Chatting. Natalie was gifted Carry On Chatting. Claire upgraded or joined for, Claire's been a member for a while, but I think you had some problems with your phone. So anyway, Claire's in Carry On Chatting, Zuzu is in Carry On Chatting, and Tracy is in Carry On Chatting. So good, thank you so much, and welcome, welcome to the Carry On Chatting family. So let's have a little play of we love our song, don't we? Don't forget to sing, don't forget to dance. To the family, we're glad that you have come to share your life with us. As we grow in love and may we always be to you. What God should have us be, a family always there. To be strong and to lean on. We learn to. There you go. Thank you so much, and I mean that. Thanks ever so much for joining us here in Carry On Chatting. And on that note, I'm going to say hello to everybody. Oh, you're all chatting already, which is nice. Yep, Tuesday Night Club. Hi, David. Hi, Zuzu. Hi, Heather. Hi, Zuzu. It's nearly dark. Where are you, Zuzu? Where are you in the world? Oh. Hi, Claire. Sorry, I'm just laughing at what Claire says. Claire's naughty. She is naughty. Ah, right. Okay, Susie. You've been watching for a while, but you've been a little bit. Yeah, not everybody likes to join in the chat. It can be a bit daunting, can't it? Because, I've seen other chats and the other YouTube channels, and sometimes people just, attack other people, don't they, in the chat? We don't allow that, do we? We don't allow that attacking. So thank you, all of you that are here. You're in Carry On Chatting. Thanks ever so much. There may be people watching at home. All right, you're in Geordie Land. What are you doing? There's my dog. What? My dog trying to get hold of a tissue. Just a tissue. What are you after? Get off. He likes tissues. He likes shredding tissues. And it's rocky. So in Geordieland. Oh, are you in oh no, I'm not mentioning the football but one of my favourite players in the England team is the goalkeeper, and he's from Sunderland, isn't he? So but we're not talking about the football. Okay, now I was a little bit late coming on because you know what, we're going to look at this new story, if you like, this new case. You know, they sound like stories, but of course they're real. It's unbelievable that these things. I was watching the news earlier. You know, I am a news junkie. I'm just watching the news constantly. I'm so boring, really. You know, it's rare that I watch anything but the news. But I enjoy watching the news. But do you know? Did you see this 6 people have died in Thailand in a hotel room? Apparently, the door was locked from the inside in Bangkok. You just think you couldn't make the things up that actually really happen in life, could you? I mean, we don't know all the details of that yet. I might look at that tomorrow. But what is going on? You know, I mean, I know all these kind of things have always happened, but of course, because of the internet, you know, we wouldn't normally get to know what was going on in Thailand or Australia, or unless we lived in those countries. But of course, now we get to hear about all the weird things that are happening all over the world. So sometimes, you know, you really do think, God, the world's gone mad. But has it just always been mad? But now we just get to hear about everything. That's probably more like it. But, you know, it sort of makes the world interesting, if you like. But sometimes it is a bit depressing. You know, because you think, God, what's going on? You know, what's going on all over the world? So, sorry, I'm just laughing at what people are saying in chat. Oh, God, I can't get my, oh, hang on. Just trying to get my laptop sorted. So that because I like to just check that I'm sharing things. Getting there, I'm getting there. Bear with. Yep. There you go. Gosh, you know what? I don't think the computers like the heat and everything because they don't work properly. Anyway, they don't work properly in the some of the computers, so I think they don't like the heat either. Okay, so let's look at this case now. The reason I was a little bit late, I was trying to get a photo of this man's victim. You know, this Joshua Zimmerman. He actually shot a girl. Hi, Tracy. He shot a girl, and that's why he was in prison for murder. And her name is Keyanna Mercer, and he murdered her in Houston in a hotel. But I cannot find a photo of her. I cannot find any details about her, but there's loads on the internet about him, of course, the murderer. Joshua Zimmerman. Have any of you heard of this case? Now, I've heard about it, obviously, because, you know, it comes up because of my search history on YouTube and this, that, and the other. All these kind of cases, anything to do with murder, comes up. Let me just show you some pictures of him. It's a very strange case because I've not heard of it. So I've been wanting to do a video about him. I've been wanting to do a video about him for a while, but of course we've been consumed with Jay Slater, bless him, which of course that's just been confirmed, hasn't it, this evening, that it was Jay. His injuries are consistent with a fall, you know, from a great height or whatever, broken bones, bless him. Hopefully, I just hope, you know, he was taken from this world instantly and he didn't suffer, you know, anyway. But we're not going to talk about Jay tonight. But yeah, so this is the guy. As you can see, he's a very sort of strange looking guy. He's been in prison before, but I think this is the first time he's been in prison for murder. But this guy just walked out of a prison. Literally, I mean, what's going on in American prisons? You know, quite often we've followed, you know, escaped convicts, haven't we? Remember Cavalcante? And we followed that that pursuit of Cavalcante, Daniel, was it? I think Daniel or Danilo Cavalcante. And of course, it was the dog that got him in the end, Yoda. But this one is different. I mean, this guy has been missing for 30 days, or been, you know, they've been on the hunt for this guy for 30 days so far. He literally walked out of a prison, and there's a reward of $10,000 for catching him. But he's a murderer. He murdered a woman, poor Keyanna Mercer, that I can't even find a photo of her. This makes me a bit angry because, of course, he's the prime sort of, you know, I know they need to put his photo out because they want to catch him, but why can't I find a photo of her? I wanted to talk about her as well. Anyway, never mind. Let's look at what happened. Now, there's a lot of controversy because apparently there was CCTV of him actually leaving this prison, but that's supposedly disappeared, and people are saying it's a cover-up. God, we've heard that before a million times, haven't we? Now, was it? I don't know. So an escaped inmate is still on the run, but how did he do it? The DeSoto County DA explains what happened. So DeSoto, where is DeSoto? DeSoto County, we need to have a look exactly where it is as well. Mississippi. So it's a county in Mississippi, apparently. Let's just have a quick look here. You know, because you know my geography is terrible. Where does it say DeSoto County? Oh, this is it. Is it there? So it's a county in Mississippi, near Memphis, near Tennessee, Nashville, of course, which we know that's where Riley Strain, the incident happened with Riley Strain. And of course, that's where Sebastian Rogers is missing. And also Summer Wells. So are we to think that they're not very good at finding people in this area? Seems like they can't find anybody. Bloody hell. I mean, you know, they need to send the Guardia Civil out to have a search for these people. The Spanish police or somebody. So we've got in this area, well, they did find Riley in the end, though. It wasn't, of course, the police that found Riley Strain. It was a worker that found Riley Strain in the river, wasn't it? Sebastian Rogers has not been found. Summer Wells has not been found. And this blooming escaped convict hasn't been found. So this is the area that we're looking at in the USA. If you're in America, you know, keep your doors locked, especially if you're around this area. But of course, he could be anywhere by now because he's been gone for 30 days. So let's go back and have a look at the story. This is then the DeSoto County DA explaining what happened. Why has it stopped? What? Why has it stopped? No. Oh, it's just stopped halfway through the video. No idea why that stopped. Okay, never mind. We won't watch the video. I'll read out the article. So, a multi-state manhunt is underway for 30-year-old Josh Zimmerman, a DeSoto County inmate charged with multiple violent crimes, including murder. Multiple agencies have joined the search for Joshua James Zimmerman, an inmate at the DeSoto County Adult Detention Center. He is wanted out of Houston, Texas. Hey, Houston, Texas. I thought it was DeSoto County was in. Anyway, never mind. For killing a woman and facing charges in South Haven. Oh, so he's wanted in other areas, not just so DeSoto County is where he escaped from, but he's also wanted in Houston, Texas for killing a woman, and he's facing charges in South Haven for attempted murder. Zimmerman basically walked out, said DeSoto County District Attorney Matthew Barton. This is the type of guy that doesn't belong in society. Well, he's in society because he just walked out of prison. So DeSoto County District Attorney Matthew Barton tells Action 5 News after reviewing video, it shows Zimmerman in a line with a group of inmates traveling up a set of stairs. Now, this might be why this video cut off, because for some reason that video has been sort of disappeared. Anyway, Zimmerman, according to DA Barton, was in the middle of that line in shackles and a jumpsuit, and the DA says Zimmerman then got out of the line and walked through an unlocked door. And behind that door, he got free from his shackles. How did he get free from his shackles? He must, do you know what? One of the prison officers must have helped him, surely. How do you get free from your shackles? So behind that door, he got free from his shackles and came out with street clothes on. He then walked right out of the courthouse and into the public square. So he literally got out of the line, walked through an unlocked door, got free from his shackles, came out with street clothes on. Well, where did he get his street clothes from? He walked out the courthouse into the public square. And he's facing several charges out of South Haven, including attempted murder. And he was last seen around 8:30 Friday morning. I mean, this is ages ago. This is 30 days ago. Or around the courthouse on Highway 51 in Hernando. He was seen wearing a khaki durag and khaki pants with a white shirt and jail flip-flops. Folks who live in Hernando tell Action News 5 something like this should never have happened. No, it bloody well should never have happened. Well, you would think this would be preventable, and you would also think that in the middle of the day someone would be easily caught. But apparently that's not the case, said Steve Bell, a concerned resident. Barton said they were in the process of seeking a life sentence for him for his charges in DeSoto County. Still, there are many questions surrounding this inmate's escape, and many are wondering, how could this happen? Well, to me, I think there's definitely one of the prison officers has helped him. How else could he have done that? A picture also surfaced today of Zimmerman wearing what seems to be regular clothes. And the big question is why he wasn't handcuffed or shackled in the photo. There is no way to win that game. No one has ever run away and gotten to stay away. At some point, he's going to get brought in, said Barton. Well, yeah, how many people is he going to kill before he gets brought in? This is the type of guy that doesn't belong in society, and someone that is reckless enough to help him out. I can assure you that my office would do everything they can to go after them as well. Barton is also encouraging all residents to take precautions, put their safety first if they come into contact with the escaped inmate. Zimmerman has been on the run for about 14 hours. So this was 30 days ago. He's now been on the run for 30 days. The sheriff's office is asking residents, if you do see Zimmerman, do not approach him. Call law enforcement immediately. And District Attorney Matthew Barton shared this statement with Action News. Zimmerman was scheduled for court today. While being transported from the jail to the courtroom, he was able to escape custody before he ever reached the courtroom. When the inmates were being brought into the building, they formed a single file line where Zimmerman was in the middle. Courthouse video shows that while the line of inmates was travelling up a flight of stairs, Zimmerman, seen in shackles and jumpsuit, broke from the line and walked through an unlocked door. Behind the door, he became free from the shackles and emerged sometime later in street clothes. Had nobody noticed that he was missing? He then walked out of the courthouse into our public square. He is facing multiple life sentences for charges in Mississippi. He was willing to plead to life in Mississippi prison out of fear that extradition to Texas might result in the death penalty. We presented a proposal to the court in an informal fashion, seeking permission to waive grand jury proceedings and skip straight to sentencing. My office was informed that the court preferred a more typical procedure. If he is returned to the DeSoto County jail prior to going to Texas, we will continue to seek a life sentence so he can answer to Mississippi victims. My office encourages everyone to be vigilant and safe. When he was originally apprehended in South Haven on attempted murder charges, it was discovered he had been hiding for a prolonged period inside a victim's residence. What? When he was originally apprehended in South Haven on an attempted murder charges, it was discovered he'd been hiding for a prolonged period inside a victim's residence. He is a career criminal out of Connecticut, and it is important to be aware of your surroundings and protect yourself in any manner necessary. Well, they wouldn't have needed to be protecting themselves in any manner necessary if this guy had not been allowed to escape. If you notice anything at all that makes you suspicious or unsafe, call 911. So this was, I'm still not sure why that video don't know why that video just finished, but anyway, doesn't matter. We've got lots more videos to look at. So let's have a look at this. This is his like the official what do you call it, like I can't think of what to call it, like the wanted poster, if you like, or the poster from the police. Let's have a look at that. I mean, how could he just have been allowed to walk away like that? I don't really understand that. But anyway, yeah, this is the wanted poster, if you like, from the US Marshals Service. Now, of course, bearing in mind that he probably hasn't got this beard anymore. I don't know, or maybe he's just trimmed it down. I mean, you know, these people, they disguise themselves a bit, don't they? But so he's been wanted since 2024. Oh, the reward is now $15,000. He's wanted for murder and escape. His date of birth is August the 27th, 1993. I think he's a Leo. Male, brown eyes, 210 pounds. So he's a big guy. And he's wanted in Hernando. He's black or African American, black hair, 5'11", tattoos on his neck and arms, armed and dangerous. So the case outlined Joshua Zimmerman is wanted by the US Marshal Service for murder, escape and armed robbery. Zimmerman is 5'11", 210 pounds, black hair and brown eyes, considered armed and very dangerous. It gives you a number to ring. All tips are anonymous. Do not approach Zimmerman under any circumstances. £15,000 reward offered for information leading to his apprehension. Yeah. So this now has been 30 days. This man has been on the run. I mean, where is he? You know, let's face it, where is he? Has he left the countries and, you know, or has he done like Rachel Marin's killer did, just traveling around America, just blending into the background? You know, what is it? Is he hiding up somewhere? Okay, let's have a look at this one. So, suspected gunman arrested in Mississippi. Oh, this was when he was arrested. So this is when he was arrested in Mississippi before he went missing. So he suspected gunman arrested in Mississippi several weeks after a woman was shot to death at a Southwest Houston motel. So now we can see him without his beard. That's what he looks like, clean shaven. So apparently he was arrested on September the 29th last year. And he'd been on the run for several weeks then. So a man who was wanted for the fatal shooting of a woman at Southwest Houston motel was arrested on September the 29th after having been on the run for several weeks, according to the Houston Police Department. Well, they've lost him again now. So he's also known as, so Joshua Zimmerman, 30, also known as Vincent Guerrino Giuliano, was taken into custody and charged with the murder of 23-year-old Keyanna Mercer. Still no picture of Keyanna. Now, I don't know why there's no picture of the victim. On September the 2nd, officers responded to the shut up. Right? 6800 block of Homewood Drive after they received, it's that bloody Chihuahua again, after they received a call that a woman had been found dead at a motel at about 8:45. Police said that Keyanna was inside the motel room with at least one gunshot wound. Well, rest in peace. You know, I don't know why I can't find a photo of you, you know, to show you some respect. But Keyanna, you know, fly free Keyanna, rest in peace Keyanna. She was pronounced dead at the scene, and authorities learned that both that Zimmerman and Keyanna, why do they always call them by their surnames? I don't mind calling him by his surname because he's a twonk, but I don't like them calling the victims by their surnames. Keyanna. Officers said witnesses told them they heard screams that came from the room right before they heard a gunshot. Zimmerman was reportedly seen leaving the motel sometime after the incident. Investigators have been searching for the suspect since early September, and he was arrested in Mississippi on separate felony charges. So they had him then. They'd just arrested him then. He'd already been on the run. Now he's back on the. They've lost him again. He was booked into the DeSoto County Jail and is expected to be extradited to the Harris County Jail. Yes, but he didn't. It's, I mean, it's not funny. It's just so ridiculous. How do you lose a prisoner? How does a prisoner just walk out of his line, go into a room, change his clothes, unshackle himself? I tell you, there must have been, the prison officers somebody must have set that up for him, mustn't they? They can't have escaped that easily without some help. Goodness me. Right, let me put some windows down. Okay, so what's the next thing? So, and then apparently there was surveillance video. Here we go. So this is apparently the surveillance video of his courthouse escape, but the whole video has been deleted, apparently in a conspiracy and a cover-up. The DA says, the district attorney says that. This is him escaping. Now, if you look at all those different pictures, he does look different on all of them, doesn't he? So he could look very different again now. I mean, the thing that he won't be able to hide is his tattoos. Of course, he won't be able to hide his tattoos. But then, oh my God. And of course, he's got one right up on his neck there. So, I mean, he can't, well, I suppose he could put makeup on them. I don't know. But yeah, this was him just changing into, he'd just gone off. How did he do that without help? He must have had help. He's gone there in his prison uniform, his shackles, and then he's just broke off the line, gone behind a door, taken his shackles off, changed into normal clothes, and off he's gone. These photos are from the US Marshal Service. So a prosecutor in Mississippi said surveillance video of an accused murder suspect's escape from a courthouse was deleted from a server in his office in a conspiracy and cover-up. Joshua Zimmerman, 31, escaped on June the 14th. So that's this year. So we're now on July the 16th. So it's been just over a month, isn't it? So he escaped from the courthouse in Hernando, Mississippi. Officials said faces charges in the county of disorderly conduct, failure to obey, taking away a motor vehicle, attempt to commit murder, robbery with an armed weapon, possession of a weapon by a felon, and receiving stolen property. So, he's got quite a few offences there, and murder in Texas. He's also wanted in Harris County, Texas, for murder in the 2023 death of Keyanna Mercer, 23, in Houston, who I cannot find a photo of anywhere. And I wonder, I just don't know what the circumstances were of her death. Apparently they rented a motel room, whether he knew her, whether she was a sex worker, I just don't know. Because I can't find anything about her, which is awful. So DeSoto County District Attorney Matthew Barton said that some co-conspirators from an outside entity. Who the hell is that? Some co-conspirators from an outside entity called his office's IT department on Friday and directed them to delete video that captured every angle of the courthouse of the escape. My God, this is weird. This is just completely weird. So who are the co-conspirators from an outside entity? And why would his office take notice of what they said? You know, maybe he's on some sort of. Do you think he's been released on some sort of? Is he some sort of snitch for the police, or this is just weird? Anyway, it did not take long for us to uncover a conspiracy to cover up and suppress certain evidence regarding the escape of Joshua Zimmerman, he said, adding that a grand jury will investigate county court facilities to access and inspect the conditions regarding the safekeeping of inmates. He did not reveal who he believed was responsible for the server deletion. Well, what do you think? Who do you think? Let me know in comments. Who was responsible for the deletion? And who would have the authority to tell them to delete it? You know, you don't just phone up a courthouse and say, oh, but you know, if I phoned up and said, oh, by the way, can you just delete that video, please? You know, oh, yeah, okay. You know, some anonymous British woman's ringing us to ask, yeah, let's delete it. Yeah, you know, if somebody has rang up and asked them to delete it, they must have had some authority, mustn't they? They can't, you know, it just can't be anybody. I mean, it's ridiculous. Gosh, you know, I knew this case was complex, but because I've not really had a chance to look at it before, I didn't know all these ins and outs of it. Very strange. Okay. So what we're going to look at next, right? We've just looked at that. We've looked at that, haven't we? Right, sorry, I'm talking to myself now. Just trying to put down. Okay, so let's have a look at some videos about this guy.
Other headlines to get to today. A man accused of killing a woman in Houston is on the run after escaping police custody over in Mississippi.
Now the U.S. Marshals are involved in a search for this man, being referred to as a career criminal. ABC 13's Micah Hatfield is live with how he was able to get away from authorities. Micah?
Well, Joshua Zimmerman was pretty much able to just walk out of the doors of the DeSoto County Courthouse in Mississippi. And speaking with the district attorney there, he told me he's not gotten a real answer on how this happened, but he says it is imperative that Zimmerman is caught because of just how dangerous he is. That's 30-year-old Joshua Zimmerman you see here. This photo was in the midst of his big escape from the courthouse in DeSoto County, Mississippi on Friday. Notice he's in street clothes. That's because District Attorney Matthew Barton says he was able to change.
Did you see that picture of him? Oh my God, he's so scary looking.
That's because District Attorney.
Look at that. And honestly, I've got a really freaky video to show you in a minute of him, but he is a real freaky person. You think, I mean, of course, he looks so distinctive there. You think, God, anybody would recognize him from that, but of course you've got to presume that he's probably clean shaven by now. Maybe he's grown his hair, but he's a really scary guy, this one.
Matthew Barton says he was able to change clothes and remove his wrist and ankle shackles and walk out.
How was he able to do that? So he was able to remove you know, it's just, he was able to change clothes, remove his wrist and ankle shackles. He's got these very distinctive tattoos, hasn't he? They'll certainly be recognisable. But there's definitely some sort of inside job here, isn't there? But who would facilitate? Who would facilitate the escape of such a dangerous man? It's it's a real mystery. It's another of those mysteries.
Shackles and walk out. Zimmerman was picked up there by police in September for a number of charges, including attempted murder and armed robbery. Friday, he was headed to court in a line of inmates when he somehow was able to break free inside the courthouse without being noticed, change.
break free inside the courthouse without being noticed. Change your clothes, take your shackles off, and just walk out onto the street. Come on, what's going on here?
Clothes and left. The plan was to extradite him back to Harris County at some point for a September 2023 murder case. He's accused of killing 23-year-old Keyanna Mercer at the Red Carpet Inn in Southwest Houston. Charging documents in that case say Zimmerman was known to use fake identities and move from state to state. U.S. Marshals say he has ties to Memphis and Connecticut. You've seen in this story photos of Zimmerman with different looks based on his beard and his hairstyle. It
looks completely different there on these pictures. The thing is, who are his powerful connections? Why has he got such powerful connections that somebody could help him escape like that? And then, you know, the CCTV gets deleted. He's got some powerful connections then, hasn't he?
It's not known how he looks now since he's been on the run, but there's a $10,000 reward for information that leads to his arrest. Micah Hatfield, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Wow. I mean, I'm glad we're looking at this case. I've been wanting to look at it for ages, but it's like, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Let's have a look at this one.
Obtained video footage of what happened. We got every camera angle in the courthouse, and we obtained that, and we had that securely stored on our server where we keep all of our evidence. It did not take long for us to uncover a conspiracy to cover up and suppress certain.
Oh, this is the guy, the Matthew Barton. So this is, we had all the coverage and we had it securely on our server, but now we've uncovered a conspiracy.
Evidence regarding the escape of Joshua Zimmerman.
New information tonight in the investigation into an accused killer who escaped from DeSoto County. The DeSoto County District Attorney's Office says surveillance video of the inmate's escape was stolen from the office. Now, according to DA Matthew Barton, the video was stolen yesterday, the same day the office received it. Well, now a grand jury will investigate the DeSoto County Courthouse. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Darcy Thomas.
And I'm Daryl Green. Right now, that inmate.
Well, they bloody well need to investigate the DeSoto County Courthouse, don't they? They need investigating. You know, somebody has stolen that video tape. I'm a bit flabbergasted here.
Mate is still on the run. Deputies say they still don't know where Joshua Zimmerman is, but they do add he was last seen in Memphis. Fox 13's Lakia Scott is live at the DeSoto County District Attorney's Office. Lakia, the DA issued some bold claims today.
Yeah, he did. DA Matthew Barton says that he had video of Zimmerman's escape on his server. He says someone attacked his server and deleted the video. Well, now he's turning this case over to a grand jury for an investigation.
As much as it's going to rock the boat and upset a few people, the fact is DeSoto County does not belong to the good old boys anymore. It belongs to you.
These are the words DeSoto County District Attorney Matthew Barton at.
He's going to get assassinated today. This guy, did you hear what he said? He said, DeSoto County doesn't belong to the good old boys anymore. It belongs to you. They're going to shoot him, aren't they? He's just going to get shot, bless him. So what he's saying? That it was stolen by the police themselves, maybe, just so they didn't look stupid? Is that what he's saying? What is he saying? But I tell you what, he needs to watch out, because you just get this feeling that someone will be out gunning for him.
Adamantly declared Thursday after making a bombshell announcement regarding the case of escaped inmate Joshua Zimmerman.
We had that securely stored on our server where we keep all of our evidence. Some co-conspirators from an outside entity, not the state of Mississippi, local entities, directed the county IT to go on.
See how he's being sort of careful what he says, but I tell you what, he's really, this is Well, no wonder it's been so, so the people that have been covering this case, I'm surprised you haven't heard of it, David, because I know that JLR has been covering it, and Nick the Hat, and so a lot of these American YouTubers, obviously, I have been covering it. I'm not surprised, because there's something very odd going on here. Whoops.
Onto my server and delete state's evidence.
The material DA Barton says was deleted from his server Wednesday was the surveillance footage that shows Joshua Zimmerman escaping the courthouse Friday.
We got every camera angle in the courthouse. The video that I had obtained through lawful and traditional and appropriate manners in the scope of the duties that my investigators have was deleted because these co-conspirators.
In Thursday's press conference, Barton told Fox 13 he knows who stole and deleted video footage from his server.
Can you share how you're so certain that someone took the video from you and stole it?
I confronted people that did it.
Did they?
It was affirmed, and yes, it was confirmed. I know which entities did it. And
He knows who did it, and he's passing it over to the grand jury. So this poor guy, he wants to be careful.
And it was admitted to.
Why did they say they did it?
I can't speak for what their motives were. All I know is there's evidence of a crime that I needed as part of my investigation to find out why a known murderer is walking through the same walkways as my staff and all the people that were in public that day.
Oh my God.
Now, Barton says the grand jury will investigate, they will investigate the agency or any person responsible for taking that video. The grand jury will also take a closer look at courthouses as well as county facilities to take a closer look at the safekeeping of the inmates. The grand jury will also investigate the escape of Joshua Zimmerman. Daryl Darcy.
That is Fox 13's Lakia Scott live in DeSoto County tonight. Lakia, thank you. Let's take another look at the suspect. This is Joshua Zimmerman. These are the photos released by the DeSoto County Sheriff's Office after he got away last Friday. The U.S. Marshals and the county DA say that they're offering $5,000 each. So reward money in total is up to $10,000 for information that leads to his capture. If you see Joshua Zimmerman, call 911.
I tell you what, if you see this guy walking down the street, just run the other way as soon as, call 911, but get somewhere safe first. Oh my God, could you imagine bumping him into it on a dark night in a dark alley? I mean, he'd terrify you, wouldn't he? Even if you knew he was a murderer or not. So do you know what? True crime. I tell you what, this is why we're all fascinated with true crime, because you can't make this shit up, can you? You couldn't write this. You couldn't, if somebody made a Netflix film, say, oh, this guy just was in a courtroom, just walked into a room, took his shackles off, changed his clothes and walked out into normal population. People would say, oh, no, that couldn't possibly happen. But, there's lots of, Ted Bundy escaped from prison and from courthouse twice, I think it was. It's quite often people escape from courthouses. Do you think people relax in courthouses and they think, they think nobody would try to escape from a courthouse? But, that is the most... For a lot of prisoners, that's the only chance they know, that's the only chance they're going to get to escape, because courthouses, they're normally just in normal neighborhoods, aren't they, on the street or whatever. So they know they can escape from a courthouse and just be walking amongst people. It's not like a prison that's in the middle of nowhere and where you're going to go then. And Ted Bundy escaped from the courthouse. He jumped out. They told while the prison guard was on a phone call, he jumped out the window and he'd been practicing. He'd been practicing in his cell, jumping off his bed or off high things to just practice, not, the jump, and because it was quite a big jump. And that's what he did. He just went to the window, jumped out the window, landed, they could see where he'd landed, and off he went, ran off, and that was it. And the only reason he was caught again is because he didn't have anywhere to go. He was sort of, although the courthouse was like in a town, but he was so well known by then, he couldn't be around. So he was sort of had to go off into the mountains. And in the end, he gave himself up because he had no food, he had no money, So that he gave himself up in the end. But this guy's got connections. He's not going to give himself up, is he? If he's got enough connections that he was helped to escape, why would somebody help him to escape? Has he got something on somebody? I mean, I don't know, but he's got connections somewhere along the line, hasn't he? So he isn't going to give himself up. Because he's obviously, somebody's looking after him. So that was that one. Let's have a look at this one.
An accused killer made the slip right out from under DeSoto County deputies a few days ago, and tonight Sheriff Thomas Tuggle admits he has no idea where fugitive Joshua Zimmerman is.
But there is new information tonight. We've learned the manhunt crossed state lines into Memphis, and Sheriff Thomas Tuggle also telling us it appears someone unknowingly.
Sheriff Thomas Tuggle. Is this a joke? Am I? What? Sheriff Thomas Tuggle.
Telling us it appears someone unknowingly state lines into Memphis, and Sheriff Thomas Tuggle also telling us it appears someone unknowingly helped him after he escaped.
All right, ABC 24's Scott.
Someone unknowingly helped him after he escaped. What?
Scott Mattis is live in the studio with us. Scott, what else did you learn?
Yeah, this was a good Samaritan that was just trying to help a fellow Mississippian, but that's not even the case. Now, Sheriff Tuggle tells me moments after Zimmerman escaped custody.
Sheriff Tuggle, sorry. I know that's infantile of me to laugh at his name, but now, the poor guy when he was a kid, so his parents, their surname is Tuggle, and when they had a son, they decided to call him Thomas Tuggle. Sheriff Thomas Tuggle. Now, why didn't they call him David or something? David Tuggle wouldn't sound so bad, would it? Or even Frank Tuggle or anything Tuggle except Thomas Tuggle. So Tommy Tuggle. Oh my God, poor guy. Anyway, Sheriff Tuggle sounds better than Thomas Tuggle. Oh, you couldn't make it up, could you?
Inside the DeSoto County Courthouse, he ran to a nearby gas station and asked, like I said, a man for help getting a ride somewhere. You'll hear from Sheriff Tuggle in just a second, but let's get straight to the video. Joshua Zimmerman was already in the custody of the DeSoto County Sheriff's Office last Friday on an attempted murder charge and was being housed at the DeSoto County Adult Detention Center. Then, that morning, he was moved to the county courthouse for what was supposed to be a hearing before a judge, but minutes later, after entering that courthouse, this with other inmates, they were all in shackles, Sheriff Tuggle says Zimmerman exited through that hallway, through one of the doors there, and somehow removed.
I'm going to laugh every time he says Sheriff Tuggle. And if he says Thomas Tuggle, that'll be it. I'll be just completely giggling. Oh, God. Oh, dear. I know. Well, I needed a little laugh, I'll tell you, after the football and everything, and one thing and another, it's good to have a laugh. But poor Sheriff Thomas Tuggle. Anyway, so he's come out of the courtroom and then he's asked a good Samaritan for a lift, and that poor guy has given him a lift. Oh my God, I wonder what he thinks now when he knows that he's had a bloody murderer in his criminal, an escaped criminal and a murderer in his car.
Move those shackles escaping the building in an alley behind that building, walking across the street and then asking for that ride.
So it was a good Samaritan that gave this guy a ride is how he got to Memphis. Everything lined up for Zimmerman. Everything lined up. It was just that day, 260 days of planning. It was just that day that everything lined up for this individual. But I promise you this, we're going to find him.
All right, so Zimmerman is about 5'11" inches.
Was that Thomas Tuchel? Who was that? They didn't say who he was, did they? I want to see Thomas Tuchel. Is that him or not? I don't know who that is. Doesn't say who he is. Don't think it says who he is. Oh dear, I can't wait to see Sheriff Tuggle.
But I promise you this, we're going to find him.
All right, so Zimmerman is about 5'11".
Now, sorry, I don't mean to be, but you know, in that area, of course, they haven't found Sebastian Rogers, they haven't found Summer Wells. So, you know, they don't hold that. It took them a long, well, they didn't find Riley Strain, somebody else found him. I don't know if I've got much confidence in the police in this area.
Inches tall. You see him right here on the screen. He's about 210 pounds. When he escaped, he actually had a beard, but oftentimes he goes without any facial hair. So keep that in mind. If you have any information whatsoever that can help authorities, you're urged to call the DeSoto County Sheriff's Office. Their number, of course, area code 662-469-8000. Live in studio tonight, I'm Scott Mattis. Pepper.
He's Scott Mattis Pepper, and he was talking about Thomas Tuchel. Sorry. Oh dear, I think I told you, I'm telling you now, it's this water. Whenever, God, I laugh more when I've got water than if I've got wine or anything. Oh dear me, you just couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. Let's have a look at another one.
It has been 7 days since a DeSoto County inmate escaped his shackles and walked right out of the courthouse. And as authorities continue their manhunt, local leaders can't seem to agree on how this happened. The district attorney has one story, the sheriff has another. Our Shay Simon is live in DeSoto County. And Shay, any clarity on that point?
Yeah, that's right, Greg. It has now been a week, and this accused murderer is still on the run. Tonight, the DA's office is calling this a conspiracy and a cover-up. One escaped inmate, two different stories from DeSoto County leaders. Both District Attorney Matthew Barton and Sheriff Thomas Tuggle sharing their accounts of how Joshua James Zimmerman, an accused violent criminal, was able to walk straight out of the courthouse.
He broke from the line, went through a door. Sometime later, he left the courthouse with no shackles and street clothes.
Joshua Zimmerman did not change any clothes. That man walked out of the courthouse in a pair of underwear, a T-shirt, and some shower shoes.
This photo, minutes before his escape, shows Zimmerman in a white shirt and pants. Barton says he saw video of Zimmerman getting away. However, official video evidence is nowhere to before his escape shows Zimmerman in a white shirt and pants. Barton says he saw video of Zimmerman getting away.
That man walked out of the courthouse in a pair of underwear.
Accused violent criminal was able to walk straight out of the courthouse.
He broke from the line.
I can't keep up with this. It's just getting crazy. And this district attorney, he sounds like he's on something, or he sounds like he's off like the Green Mile or something. He's got this strange voice, hasn't he?
Went through a door. Sometime later, he left the courthouse with no shackles and street clothes.
Joshua Zimmerman did not change any clothes. That man walked out of the courthouse in a pair of underwear, a T-shirt, and some shower shoes.
Is there a pair of underwear? They look like long. Is it me? They look like long trousers, but apparently not. Pair of underwear, a T-shirt, and some shower shoes. What about the hat? Oh, I don't know. This is crackers.
This photo, minutes before his escape, shows Zimmerman in a white shirt and pants. Barton says he saw video of Zimmerman getting away. However, official video evidence is nowhere to be found. He says co-conspirators directed the county IT department to go into the server and delete the state's evidence.
I will say it is a felony crime to tamper with evidence.
However, Sheriff Tuggle shuts down any claims that this was an inside job.
The notion that he had help, that's false.
Now, Barton
That is him, Thomas Tuggle. It's that guy.
is appointing a grand jury to get to the bottom of it, investigating the courthouse and anyone associated with state evidence.
When we have an ongoing investigation going on, we don't talk about it. If you talk about an ongoing investigation where the lives of your men are at stake, that's reckless. So that communication, the DA or whoever wants to talk about this case, they can call us and talk about it.
Ooh, so is it Sheriff Tuggle who had the CCTV removed? He's saying Zimmerman walked out in underwear, but that one picture that they've got, he looks like he's got pants on to me. So was it Thomas Tuggle who? Look, this is like some Agatha Christie book, isn't it? Was it Thomas Tuggle in the kitchen with the lamp, or whatever? I mean, it's crazy. So is it Thomas Tuggle that had the CCTV removed? So he's insisting he walked out in underwear, that he didn't change his clothes, but it looked to me on that photo that he did have pants on.
Well, right now, there is a $10,000 reward for his arrest. And Greg, right now, law enforcement believe that Zimmerman may have actually cut his beard as a part of his escape. So if you know any information, of course, you are asked to contact law enforcement. For your news leader in DeSoto County, Shay Simon, WREG News Channel 3.
I mean, you just couldn't make this up. Definitely not. Right, so a lot of so Dog the Bounty Hunter's got involved. Dog the Bounty Hunter, we know who he is, don't we? He's got involved. Let's have a look at that.
Our top story tonight, a bigger reward and a new dog in the hunt for an escaped accused.
Yeah, because you know what he's like. I mean, as soon as the reward goes up to $15,000, he's going to be there, isn't he?
Killer. Thanks for joining us on Action News 5 at 6. I'm Joy Redmond. Joe Birch has the day off. Now, Dog, the bounty hunter, also known as Dwayne Chapman, is touting a $20,000 reward for information about Joshua Zimmerman, who authorities say escaped from the DeSoto County Courthouse more than 2 weeks ago. Our Tavarius Haywood live in studio with more on what he knows. T-Wood.
Yeah, Joy, Dog the Bounty Hunter has taken to social media saying he's also looking for Joshua Zimmerman. It's been more than 3 weeks since Zimmerman just walked out of the DeSoto County courtroom. Now, Zimmerman is facing multiple felony charges in DeSoto County, including attempted murder. Zimmerman was also on the run from Texas officials. He's accused of killing a woman down in Houston, Texas last year. The DeSoto County Sheriff's Office telling us tonight that they are not working with Dog the Bounty Hunter, saying he hasn't officially reached out to them in regard to the
Dog must be sort of bobbing on a bit now, isn't he? He's not a young man anymore. His wife died, didn't she, a few years ago? It's very sad. I did used to watch Dog the Bounty Hunter years ago, but I haven't watched it for years. But he always he sort of does try and get involved in high profile cases, doesn't he? He's like the American Mark Williams Thomas or Peter Falding. He's like, if it's high profile, he's there, like with Gabby Petito, etc. But of course, he is experienced in tracking down convicts and that. But yeah, convicts, because he's a bail bondsman, isn't he? But yeah, okay, go for it, Dog. And yeah, David, like you say, Sheriff Tuggle's having a tug on his Tuggle.
The search for Zimmerman. Now, DCSO says there's no update on the investigation. We've also reached out to the DeSoto County District Attorney down there, who also says they have not been contacted by Dog the Bounty Hunter. Dog posted to his social media that the reward for those who help find Zimmerman is at $20,000. Now, we haven't been able to confirm that number, but we know
it doesn't. He hasn't aged well, has he, really? Let's have a look. I mean, you know, oh dear, doesn't look well.
Posted to his social media that the reward for those who help find Zimmerman is at $20,000. Now, we haven't been able to confirm that number, but we know that the U.S. Marshal's Office has put up $10,000 and the DA's office down in DeSoto County has put up $5,000 for a reward to help find Zimmerman. Now, I also spoke with DeSoto County District Attorney Matthew Barton, who says he doesn't care who finds Zimmerman. He just wants him back in jail. I did call that tip number from that dog posted to his social media. It was an automated tip number. Barton says if you see Zimmerman, call the number on your screen. That's 1-800-336-1002. Tavarius Haywood, Action News 5.
Oh my God. I mean, you could go on and on watching these videos. It's so interesting, I think. This is another one. Let's have a look at it.
New at 4, a high-profile bounty hunter and television personality says he's offering a reward in the search for a missing DeSoto County inmate. Dog, the bounty hunter, also known as Dwayne Chapman, posted on social media over the weekend the reward for Joshua Zimmerman has increased, and he's looking on the lookout for the fugitive accused of murdering a woman.
Now, I've got to say this: someone like Dog could only happen in America, because in Britain, I can't imagine it in any other country. You know, do you see the police were shaking his hand and they seem to be welcoming him? And I suppose he's worked with the police for years. I don't know. But could you imagine that in the UK? A character like Dog the Bounty Hunter, they just wouldn't have it, would they? It'd be just like, shut up and get back in your box. And Sheriff Tuggle would be tugging on his Tuggle and telling him, Thomas Tuggle tugs on his Thomas. I'll tell you what, there's a million jokes in there, isn't there? I'm sure David will get to work with that name and come up with all sorts. But yeah, I don't think in the UK we could have someone like Dog, could we? Because we're too boring, probably. I think, you know, this is the character that Dog is. I think that could only be in America, to be honest. But you know, and because he's a flamboyant character, and I don't think he'd go down well in the UK. I don't know if he would or not. I mean, he would with the British public. He just wouldn't with the authorities, would he? Wouldn't go down well with the authorities. In America, they've got more freedom, haven't they? Like in that way, we're constrained by bloody establishment.
Investigators say Zimmerman escaped from the DeSoto County Courthouse last month. WREG's Shay Arthur spent the day digging deeper into this case.
Tonight, one of the most high-profile bounty hunters in the country, Dog the Bounty Hunter, appears to be joining in on the search for 31-year-old Joshua Zimmerman, also known as Dwayne Chapman.
Oh, is he 71? Well, if he's 71, then he does look okay then, yeah, for his age, doesn't he? I mean, I don't know why I thought he was younger than that, but probably because he looked, I thought maybe about 60, I don't know, but 71, good God, well, good for you.
He recently spoke to News Nation as he's also looking for migrant criminals.
Well, you know, I'm a bounty hunter and I
he's looking for migrant criminals as well.
Go after fugitives.
This weekend, he posted on social media. The reward for Zimmerman is now $20,000, directing people to call or text 833-TELL-DOG if they have any information. The most recent poster from the U.S. Marshal's Office cites a reward of $15,000. Zimmerman's escape from the DeSoto County Courthouse has now become part of an internal investigation as to how he actually made it out of the building. Here's DeSoto County's district attorney.
They were going upstairs to the courtroom. He's wearing shackles and a jumpsuit like everybody else. He broke from the line, went through a door. Sometime later, he left the courthouse with no shackles and street clothes.
Zimmerman is accused of attacking an elderly man in South Haven after he hired him to do work at his house last September. This was just days after he's accused of murdering a 23-year-old woman in Houston. We did some digging and discovered Houston police released this picture of Zimmerman to the public after he was captured on motel surveillance video shortly after the young woman's death. Houston police say that victim was found shot dead inside the motel, with witnesses telling them they heard arguing coming from the motel room. This timeline gives you a look at when Zimmerman.
I'll tell you what, I'm really annoyed that I can't find a picture of that poor woman.
Zimmerman's accused crimes took place. In March, he was indicted by a grand jury out of Texas for the murder. And less than 4 months later, he's now on the run after escaping in DeSoto County. A spokesperson with Houston PD told us detectives there have been in contact with U.S. Marshals about Zimmerman since he's been on the run, as they're keeping an eye out as well. But they tell us he has no ties to Houston. For your news leader, Shay Arthur, WREG, News Channel 3.
And we reach out to a listed spokesperson for Dog the Bounty Hunter's post about a reward. So far, we have not heard back. DeSoto County officials we asked about it said they are not affiliated with it.
Wow. So interesting stuff, isn't it? Now, there's loads of, we'll look at some more videos on other times because I've got something else I want to show you. So the sort of the YouTube channels that have been, the YouTube channels that have been talking about, and this is Nick, I think they call him Nick the Hat. I can't pronounce his second name. Nick Hatziafestafasu or something. It sounds like a Greek name. We're going to have a look at his video. Now the video as it starts, it's supposed to be Zimmerman, this guy Zimmerman, after a previous prison release. So we'll see. Let's go back to the beginning. Have a look at this. Somebody sent me this. One of our members on the other membership level sent me this quite a while ago, but I just haven't had time to show it. I've been wanting to do this video about Zimmerman for ages, but obviously, because we've been talking about Jay, etc. But I'm glad I've done it now. I mean, it's a fascinating story, isn't it, really?
You can't lose me that, nigga, man. Spread the word, I'm back in the flesh. Guess who's back, nigga? In the flesh. Still got...
What's going on, guys? So there are no real updates on the manhunt for Joshua Zimmerman. He is still at large, believed to be in the Memphis region. Now, the reward has gone up to $15,000. And yesterday, as you guys know, they enhanced.
Now, I'm just going to stop a minute and go back to the beginning again because I want you to see him at the beginning. So this is him, apparently, after his last prison release.
Back, nigga, in the flesh. Still got the jail shit on and all that. You can't lose me that, nigga, man. Spread the word, I'm back in the flesh. Guess who's back, nigga? In the flesh. Still got...
What's going on, guys? So there are no real updates on the manhunt for Joshua Zimmerman. He is still at large, believed to be in the Memphis region. Now, the reward has gone up to $15,000. And yesterday, as you guys know, they enhanced the crime to murder one, which is compared to the previous charge, this one changes the game. It puts him on databases across the country. It puts him on the radar of Border Patrol, all points of entry for the U.S., points to get out of the U.S., from airports to train stations. I mean, everything in between, all of those places are on alert for Josh Zimmerman. What's interesting is that he may have help from a group of individuals. He may have had help from a group of individuals. Well, he did have help. That's a fact. It's just not known by how many people.
Well, he must have had help, but who would help someone like that? It must have had help from people within the actual prison service, or officials. But who would help him? But, who knows? Who knows?
It's more than two. That's all that's known. They have ties to satanic style cult, I guess is the best way to put it. They exist across the country, which is pretty crazy. So in the region that he's in, or that he escaped from in DeSoto County, there is a cult there. They're a satanic cult. There's also a cult, the same kind of cult out in Houston. And I mean, they have chapters.
Oh my God, just when you think it can't get any more dramatic, now this ties to a satanic cult. I mean, my God, there's bloody hell. What's going to happen next? I mean, we've got a satanic cult, we've got a conspiracy, we've got this bloody nutcase roaming around, a danger to society, but especially to women, it seems. And now we've got a satanic cult going on. What's next?
Everywhere, which is rather interesting. This is the first of a kind for me, at least. I've never heard of a manhunt that involves a satanic cult, that involves somebody stealing evidence, that involves the person taking their surveillance footage with them, and that involves a guy that's cross-dressing, possibly.
What?
It's a very unique situation, guys. And
what is cross-dressing as well? Where's that come from? What? Oh my God! It's like, no wonder Thomas is tugging on his tuggle. Sorry, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just laughing because it's just batshit crazy, isn't it? So we've got a satanic cult, and now we've got cross-dressing as well. Oh my God! What is next?
problem is, it's Friday. This weekend, people are going to be going out in the Memphis region, and he will be too. He might be dressed as a woman. He might be dressed as a man. He is 100%. They know he changed his appearance. The last credible sighting was 14 days ago. Now, they have.
Yeah, he hasn't been seen since then either. So he's dressing as a woman to avoid detection. So if you're in the Memphis area, be careful who you go out with. If you're a man, if you're a woman, don't be going out with him. And if you're a man, be careful if you meet a woman who looks a bit like him. Jesus. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say Jesus. Oh my God. I only ever say Jesus when it is like completely, just, oh my God, just can't believe it.
I've received other sightings, tips, information that they are pursuing, but the only solid piece of evidence is now 14 days old. And we have to look at it like dog years when it comes to manhunts. 14 days is a long time. And to not have a confirmed sighting in 2 weeks is a problem for many reasons. And that's why they also enhanced the reward. And they also alerted other resources that don't typically get involved in manhunts. Like we said last week, the CIA is involved in this manhunt, which is rather interesting. It makes you wonder, is Joshua Zimmerman an asset for the U.S. government?
Now, that's what I said, wasn't it? Was he released because is he doing something for the government or for the authorities? I mean, you just don't know, do you? It could have been a planned thing. They do make these deals, don't they, with convicts every now and again. Though I don't know why they would have done it with him, but maybe he's got connections that they want to find out about. Maybe he's got a mission that he's supposed to be doing, But when he says the CIA are involved, that's not like they're separate from the FBI, aren't they? So no wonder everyone's so fascinated with this case. Where is this guy?
Or is he a confidential informant? Is he somebody who has worked with authorities in the past? Is he of a military background? The CIA doesn't generally get involved with manhunts, especially in the U.S., unless they're chasing Osama bin Laden or something, which Zimmerman just is not. Even if he's a serial killer, it doesn't warrant the attention.
Hang on. Oh my God, no, I can't cope now. My head's exploding. So he's not a terrorist, is he? I don't think there's any evidence says he's a terrorist. They said he's not a serial killer, as far as we know. He's murdered one woman, as far as we know, unless they know of other cases. I mean, this is just... but it does seem strange that the CIA are involved.
Of the CIA is more for the homeland, terror related. When they come, nobody really knows what they did or what they do. Nobody knows if their mission is complete or if it wasn't. It's stuff that never gets out. And I've never heard of them responding to a manhunt when he escaped. They said he was wanted for attempted murder. That was the biggest downplay I think I've ever read. It's not attempted murder. He murdered people, women, possibly men. He raped, plural, women. He kidnapped, plural, women. It's not an attempt. There might have been an attempt out of a dozen other fulfilled crimes. But this individual is not an attempted murderer. He is a cold-blooded killer who kills for a thrill. He tattoos a name.
What? He tattoos a name on his head? I tell you what, I'm glad I don't live in Memphis, that's for sure. If that's where they think he is, tell you, if you're watching this, any of my chatters out there, if you're anywhere, well, if you're even in America, God, just, you know, he is scary, the thought of him walking around.
On a head. It takes a very peculiar and strange, almost
high unity. Now, I just want to say, why is he walking around in circles? Why do YouTubers sometimes do this? You know, Paul Arnott did that, didn't he, when he was walking around searching for Jay, just walking around in circles, even in his bedroom. He was walking around in circles. He's making me go dizzy. So, Nick, just stay still. You don't have to walk around in circles. Just stay still and tell us the story.
he surpasses a sociopath and a psychopath and stuff to that caliber when you bring a woman to your house or your place or your store or whatever tattoo artists do. I don't have a tattoo, but you don't bring them there. And I don't know how he's able to get them to do his name, but you don't do that and then blow their head off. That is a very sick individual. That is a demented individual.
Was that her? Was that her? I still don't know.
And he wanted to get caught, guys. This wasn't, he didn't kill the first woman in September of 23. No, that's the first woman he branded with the name Zimmerman, giving police a name and a lead on a killer. Usually when they do something like that, it's because they've killed for so long that they now want to get recognition or they want to be known. They get a thrill out of it. They know that at this point, Zimmerman knows if he gets caught for one of the crimes, he's doing life. And to him, he might want to have the rap for all of the crimes he committed, plus some more. And that's why I'm saying if you're in populated areas and in cities that surround that Memphis region, don't go out as much until this guy is captured. Because,
yeah, exactly.
For example, if he wants to go out with a...
let's just change that. Don't go out. Don't go out. And make sure your doors and your windows are locked, because the thought of this guy wandering around is absolutely terrifying.
Dang, I wouldn't put it past Zimmerman to become an active shooter. I wouldn't put it past him at all. That is a very possible situation. It's very possible he'll take many hostages. It's very possible that he will go to a populated area. And if he is identified, that he holds that entire area down. And if he goes into a mall, we're talking hundreds of people, guys. And a killer that is a killer. It's not like this guy is thinking of killing or he's a potential psychopath. No, he has killed. He has kidnapped, he has raped, he's going to kill, he's going to kidnap, he's going to continue raping. He's on the run, possibly dressed as a woman. His photos are being shared online. I know Dog got involved and it propelled the coverage, which is amazing. We have to keep pushing this guy's mugshot because you have to get familiar with his tattoos. Obviously pay attention to the face, but guys like this, when they become a woman or cross-dress, it becomes almost impossible to tell. So pay attention to tattoos, pay attention to other features that you can see on the mug shots, the various different photos, some photos dating back to September 2023 that were released by the Houston police when they were trying to identify Zimmerman for the gruesome execution-style death or murder of that girl. Where he wrote his name on. So if you guys see anything suspicious...
So he tattooed his name on this girl that he murdered. Yeah, I don't know enough about that. I've got to do more research on this. So that Keyanna, had he tattooed Zimmerman on her? Oh my God.
And not just in Memphis, in any region. Right now, this guy can be in Connecticut. He can be in Pennsylvania. He can be in Jersey. They just don't know for a fact where he is. And it's similar to what we saw with Danilo Cavalcante. The residents caught Danilo. His accomplices caught Danilo because he went back to his accomplices, all of them, which is strange. He went to every accomplice, but residents and his former accomplices are the reason he got captured, obviously with the help of the best tactical forces in the country. The U.S. Marshals are by far the best tactical teams this country and any other country has when it comes to chasing and capturing these monsters and bringing them to justice. There are various tasks.
Well, Nick, they might have the best people at catching them, but why did they let them escape in the first place? And don't forget Yoda, who caught Danilo Cavalcante. But you know what? You wouldn't have to, as I say, you wouldn't have to catch these people if you didn't let them go in the first place.
Forces on this, different branches of the U.S. Marines, the U.S. Marshals. They have, I think, 6 or 7 branches. It's turning into a big manhunt, and it is escalating by the day. Essentially, what you guys saw in the first week, that 7-day gap, now we're seeing that every day. So we're getting 7 days worth of push per day. And by Monday, if he's not captured, that's just going to keep amplifying, and it's likely going to become world news by Monday. You have an escaped potential serial killer raping and kidnapping women and men across the United States.
Well, I don't know when he made this video, but I reckon it was at least 2 weeks ago. He's not been caught yet, Nick.
United States at large in small town America, in Memphis, Tennessee. That is not a place, I mean, nowhere in America is a place for a serial killer, but you don't want these kind of monsters to be out and about on the weekend. This weekend could be somebody's last weekend, guys. So I'm not.
Oh my God, he's cheerful, isn't he? God. I mean, it's one thing to tell people to be careful, but, you know, say, oh, this weekend could be someone's last weekend. Well, it will be someone's last weekend because people dying every day at the end of the day. You know, a big place like Tennessee, they don't have to be murdered by Zimmerman. There will be, people will die, unfortunately. But, you know, it just seems to me that Tennessee, it's not a very safe place, is it? You've got Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers, and Riley Strain, and now you've got this guy walking around. I've never even knew much about Tennessee until this year. It seems like this year I've heard all these things going on.
Not kidding. When I say don't go out, if you live in those regions, try not to go out unless you're going out with a group. Don't be out alone. This person has murdered, he has kidnapped, he has raped, and he will do it again. If you're at a red light and there's nobody around and you see somebody walking up to your car, blow the light. It doesn't matter as long as there's no other cars coming. The police will understand if you're in an area, you're by yourself, and you're worried that there's an escaped killer prowling. Hitchhikers, shit out of luck, don't pick any of them up because this guy could be a woman, he could be a man, he can literally go from black to white to Hispanic. This guy is insane with how he is able to change his appearance. And comparing it to Danilo Cavalcante, this blew Danilo out of the water. Danilo is a noob compared to this guy. Danilo might have been a great Brazilian athlete jumping like Zabumafu from trees and going through the brush and stuff, but he was not Zimmerman. If Danilo and Zimmerman were on the run and they ran into each other, Danilo would have been killed and probably raped and abducted. This guy, he does not care. Danilo was trying to get away. This man is trying to make a name. Big difference, guys. He doesn't care about getting away. It's more so for a name. And when somebody wants to make a name for themselves and they have nothing to lose because they are already facing life and possibly the chair, if he's charged in Texas, he's got nothing to lose. So adding 15.
Oh, he's got him adding 15 bodies now. But he's right, of course, in a way. He's got nothing to lose. He doesn't want to go to prison. He knows that if he goes to prison, he's going to be there for the rest of his life unless he can engineer another escape. He may even get the death penalty if he gets tried in Texas. But I think he'd made a deal about that, I think. But, yeah, I mean, he's armed, dangerous, and, you know, could do anything.
15 bodies won't change it. Adding 50 bodies won't change it. Adding 400 bodies won't change it. No matter if he was to have the next genocide, it wouldn't change it. He's doing the same sentence, life or death, no matter what. There is no in between. He's not going to get acquitted. And if somehow he does, he's got a tour of other cities and states that he's going to. This individual wants to kill for the thrill. It's not like he's fleeing the country. He is tying up loose ends. He is finding other victims. God knows if he already, for all we know, he might have killed and taken cars and left the state. I mean, there are people that are going missing in those regions, but that happens a lot. Obviously, when you have an escaped sociopath and potential serial killer on the loose, everybody that goes missing turns into a potential tie to this until it's cleared. It's almost like the Zodiac killer, the way this guy operates. He'll go to the park. Say you are on a date with a girl at a park in Tennessee that's deserted. This is the kind of guy that'll walk up to you guys and blow the boyfriend's head off, kidnap the girl, assault her, and then kill her.
I'm not laughing.
And for a week or two, people would say, oh, that guy must have kidnapped his girlfriend. No, they were both killed. That's the kind of guy we're dealing with.
Listen, there's no way I'm going to Tennessee ever. So, and if I was living in Tennessee, I wouldn't be leaving my house at the moment.
And a guy that will kill couples, that will start controversy, that people will think, oh, maybe they ran off, which is why we shared that first responder missing post, because that post is very peculiar. You have 2 first responders missing. And at first it sounded like they were trying to place blame on one of the firefighters. And then that other firefighter's family was placing blame on the other ones. And the police are saying they're both missing separately. And it's a very peculiar case. And it's something that almost is reminiscent of the movie, The Zodiac. If you guys watch the movie and you see how mysterious he is, they never caught that guy because of his ability to evade capture and likely change his, I mean, he still is, I guess, the only one that truly got away. And Zimmerman wants to, he's not going to get to that level because he cannot get away. We don't know who the Zodiac is or was, but we do know who Joshua Zimmerman is. So I'm not even going to apologize to that other one, but we do know who Zimmerman is. So when it comes down to this guy, he hits all of the check boxes. Deadly, he's a sexual predator, and he abducts people, adults. He's a strong individual. He can overpower you. Remember, guys, he's running from possibly the death penalty or a life in prison. So what doesn't? If he kills you, it's not going to change his sentence at all. Period. It's not. He's going to do the same sentence. He's going to be cutting hair in prison, giving tattoos, and then maybe blowing people's heads off.
Well, I don't know where Nick is, but I hope the guy's not watching him doing this and he knows where he is, because he's not going to like what Nick's saying about him.
Behind bars with whatever tools they have, but you'll be dead. This guy has nothing to lose, whereas us, the public, the general public, we have everything to lose. We aren't killers. We aren't miscreants. We're not kidnappers. We're not rapists. We belong in a civilized society that's free of the Zimmermans of the world, and we have to make sure that he's brought to justice. I'm going to go live again later on. I'm going to see if I can make a couple phone calls, see if there are any updates. All we know right now is the reward is going to keep going up. Be on the lookout. Do not approach. Do not apprehend. If you live in DeSoto County and you see something, call the U.S. Marshals or the FBI. Any other regions, call 911 immediately. Report anything suspicious, anything. Everything is on the table right now. And for the weekend, if you're in those regions, cancel your plans. That way you can come back on Monday and hopefully he's captured. So,
yep, cancel your plans. Don't be going out. In fact, he's still not been caught. So if you're in that area, don't go out at all.
We'll talk to you guys then. And again, his last known physical sighting was DeSoto County, but he is believed to have reached Memphis, Tennessee. There is no surveillance in Memphis yet, but he is believed to be, they are almost positive, in the region of Memphis, Tennessee. The last sighting was DeSoto County 14 days ago today, or possibly 15 days ago today. So it's been over 2 weeks since there's been a photo, a video, or an iota of evidence of this guy out and about, which is terrifying. So he's either laying very low and giving it until the weekend to go out when it's more populated, or he is journeying to wherever he's going. The thing is, they don't have a pinpoint location. They don't have a perimeter. They have an idea of where he will go, and that is Connecticut. They are in contact with, sorry, I said, I'm at the park and a dog just jumped into the water.
Why is he walking around in circles? He's making me go dizzy. Okay, so he's from Connecticut, the guy, this Zimmerman. So they tend to try and go back, don't they, to where they come from or to where they're familiar. So that could be where he's heading for.
He alerted law enforcement officers essentially on every path of travel that would lead to Connecticut from Mississippi and the Memphis region, and also other detours in case he's going toward Mexico, which would be a great thing if he went toward Mexico because they'll catch him at the border. Again, they have alerted all ports of entry for the United States. This is now a murder manhunt. It is no longer a suspected murder.
Well, you know what? You don't have much faith in the border either, because Rachel Marin's killer came over the border on his third attempt, even though there was a red alert out for him from where he came from. He was still got over the border and got into America on his third attempt. So I personally don't have much faith in the border. Where, what are their border controls?
Murderer. He is charged with murder in the first degree for at least one murder. There are potentially 3 murders total that we are aware of. There is a kidnapping and a rape in Connecticut. There is a second rape in Connecticut where he has another warrant out for his arrest. The homicide in Houston. He has a warrant for murder of the first degree. He has a warrant in 6 or 7 states, all violent, top of the level. I mean, like this F1s, which is like the top felony, that's his rap sheet, but on a scale that almost, I don't know how to put this, he almost was able to find a loophole in the criminal justice system where he was committing these crimes in various states. And now they're catching up with him very quickly. It went from a suspected murderer to murder in a matter of 2 days, and they're going to enhance it again for a double murder. He's going to be charged with at least 2 counts of murder in the next couple of days. So they're going to enhance the reward again and obviously bolster the patrols. So the charges are going to keep going up as they learn more. And when they run his DNA through the national database, that's the goal, guys. That's what they want to do. They have reason to believe that this might link him to a large number of.
Well, what does he mean when they do that? Why they'll have done that already, surely. I mean, he was in prison, so they'll have his DNA. Surely they'll have already run his DNA through the database.
Cold cases that otherwise that didn't make sense. It's not like the Long Island serial killer where they were able to profile him, even though they botched that case. When they did profile him, now they are. How do I put it? I guess going back and looking for missing prostitutes and women of that industry. And that's how they're piecing together who he victimized and murdered. With a guy like Joshua, these aren't prostitutes that are coming to him. These are people like women that find him on Facebook Marketplace for a tattoo or other stuff for a date. This guy is charming. He's like Ted Bundy, but sicker. He is manipulative. He's able to talk his way into anything. He's able to
Sicker than Ted Bundy? Well, you don't get much sicker than Ted Bundy, do you?
change his appearance. It's night and day. He could become a white guy, a black guy, a Hispanic guy, a white woman, a black woman, or a Hispanic woman. He has 6 potential different, completely opposite appearances. I mean, he can be
He's like a chameleon by the sound of it.
at the Super Bowl and we wouldn't recognize the guy if he's dressed in a blonde wig. And, because in today's day, stuff is kind of offensive. So if you call, I guess, the police on a woman that looks like a man that could be Zimmerman, I guess it's offensive, but it is what it is. There's a killer on the loose and he's known to cross-dress. He's known to be bisexual and anything is on the table. So again, if you see something, don't approach, don't apprehend, just call 911. And even if you think don't hesitate. Don't think that you're going to waste resources. You're not. Let them figure that out. No matter what it is, let the police figure out if it's something worth filing a report or pursuing. They'll come out, they'll look, and they'll tell you. They're not going to arrest you for calling in something suspicious at all. they might thank you, because right now they need your help. They need the residents to be on the lookout. They need everybody to have their eyes peeled, because somebody's seeing this guy right now. He's out and about. It's possible that somebody's watching this stream, walking behind him or her, whatever it is today. It's very possible that he has a phone. Actually, it's almost a 99% chance that he has a phone. And it's to the point where authorities are slowly going into a panic mode because of public safety and what this can cause for the weekend, especially populated areas. Again, I'm going to have more information tonight. I'm going to see if I can get an.
Okay. Well, he's still not been caught. So yeah, I'll definitely be covering this. So we're going to keep a close eye on this case, aren't we? We're going to keep, I think you'll see how fascinating it is. I'm glad I've covered it tonight. There's a lot I don't know about it. I didn't know about the cross-dressing. As I say, it's just been something that's sort of been on the periphery for me. I knew it was going on, and I've seen, like, I'm on Nick the Hat, I'm on his Twitter, watching his Twitter, things like that. But I haven't paid close attention to it because it's all, you know, we've been concentrating on the sad, very sad Jay Slater case. But I would definitely be following this closely, as you say. Okay, so now thanks so much everybody for being here with me on the Carry On Chatting. I hope you found the video interesting. You've had a good chat, and we've had a bit of a laugh and a joke, even though it's serious subjects, as we always do on the members. I hope Thomas Tuggle is on the ball. I'm just going to check. Sorry. Hey, just there's a million jokes in that. Thomas Tuggle is on the ball. Sheriff Thomas Tuggle. I'm just going to check, see if there's any news. I like to do that before I finish a video, because quite often I'll do a video and do a live, come off it, and then some news comes up. But 31 days. Oh no, that was a week ago. Oh no, it is about 31 days now, isn't it? Yeah, no news from what I can see. Just vanished. Vanished. Where is he? Yeah, very scary. Very scary. Okay, so at the end of this, I'll release it to the other members, to the Let's Chat members. I'll be back tomorrow with a normal video, if you like, a public video. This will find its way to public after it's gone out to the other members. But anyway, thank you so much. I think it's been fun as well. You know, it's been nice to see you all chatting. And yeah, oh God, don't go to Tennessee. Don't go to Memphis, Tennessee, please. And if you live anywhere near that area, please just keep yourself safe. It just sounds awful. Okay, so I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, as always, may your God go with you. Bye-bye.